controls the pumpkin spice controls the white women. That's in the Bible. And that's what we got at Coffee Brand Coffee. Go get you some. Use code RUIN for that 10% off because I got it back and it's here to stay. But for now, ongoing stupidity.
I always get these comments that are like, how do you people find this attractive? Glazing. If someone comments something positive, it'll just be like, lie, 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 lie. And I think we need to have an honest conversation about what we mean when we talk about attractiveness or beauty or desire. Because none of these things are actually objective truths. They are subjective. They are opinion. And what gets labeled as beautiful or desirable or attractive depends very heavily on both cultural norms and individual preference. That's why beauty standards change. And it's why it's so foolish to me when people come into my comments acting shocked that people find me attractive. Because the reality is that people find fat people attractive. People find trans and gender nonconforming people attractive. Maybe you don't, because you subscribe to whatever the cultural beauty standard is, but you are not everyone. You are the societal groupthink, and then there's everyone who does not subscribe to that. If you haven't done the work to question what you think is beautiful and why, I actually don't believe that you even can know what you as an individual find beautiful. Because as it currently stands, you are just subscribing to the beauty standards set by white supremacy. You have been conditioned to think that way. So they're not really your thoughts. And if you really want to get into it, even I am privileged by those beauty standards, by the fact that I am white, I have relatively symmetrical features, I have an hourglass body shape. These are all things that are favored under our cultural white supremacist beauty standards. And similar to individual opinions on beauty, cultural beauty standards can be different and they can change depending on lots of different factors. Geographically, they change based on time period. You don't have to find me attractive. I don't give two fucks what you think. But you are also not the determiner of what is beautiful. You do not dictate objective beauty because objective beauty does not exist.
So you don't care what nobody thinks about you or your appearance or how beautiful you are. You say that beauty is subjective, which is true. You say there are people who are attracted to transgender men and women and fat men and women, which is true. There are people out there who do enjoy that, and there is no shame in any of them from me about that. You love who you love. As long as you ain't trying to get some coitus from no kid, I don't care. You also say that there is no objectiveness to beauty, which is true. It is all subjective based on how one person says and operates their life based on their experiences and what they find attractive. There is just one problem. You act as if you're not hurt by a bunch of people finding you attractive and trying to wonder why they find you attractive. So instead of making a real point, which you almost did, you want to bring up the cultural standards of white supremacy. I know that this is a recent phrase that a lot of women bring up, but bitch, you is really fucking delulu, because I, the black guy in the room, don't find you attractive whatsoever, and it's based upon your personality and your looks. You built like a 2x4. You look like you belong in a cartoon where the mother is clearly going to be someone who is the villain in the cartoon. You are not attractive to the eyes of me. And yes, it's subjective, but it ain't got nothing to do with white supremacy. It ain't got nothing to do with the standards of today's society, because trust and believe, Leon likes him some big girls, but he ain't gonna go with no big girl who's crying about how people don't like me, and it's clear because even though I say I don't care, I must blame white supremacy because that's the only way that I can feel good about myself in this world, because how dare you look at me and be so ashamed and say that, oh wow, people are attracted to to me? How could they be possibly attracted to me? Because it's clear that they don't subscribe to that groupthink that is white supremacy. What happened to it being subjective? How do you take the word subjective and turn it into groupthink white supremacy? And I know you acknowledged it in the video, but let me remind you, you're white. Shut the fuck up. It's like if I, the sexiest black YouTuber, was met with a bunch of comments saying that I wasn't the sexiest black YouTuber, and I turn around and say, it's clear that you're all just a bunch of racists. That's dumb. Why would I waste my time saying something like that? Because we all know it is true that I am the best looking black person you have ever seen, and it ain't even up for debate. But when you have people with low self-esteem, not a lot of confidence in themselves, getting their head bucked up by other people on the internet who have low self-esteem, you get a little bit of that pride going up. You start to feel yourself just a little bit. You start to act like you are above other people. And then when others come along and they say, you're not really that cute, you're not really that attractive, your ego gets hurt. And you could either be a reasonable adult and be like, oh well, you don't like it, or, for some fucking reason, you want to blame the cultural standards and groupthink white supremacy because you can't fathom that somebody finds you ugly. And that's a sad reality for one to truly live in. And that is depressing. And I feel bad for you, lady, and I feel bad for anybody who lives in this mindset, because you should be able to look in the mirror and the only person who should matter to you is you. I know I sound like a therapist right now and you laying back in your chair as I make constant jokes about dick, pussy, and vagina, but you have to understand, if you don't feel confident in yourself, you are going to be in shambles when you walk outside in public and people giving you the side eye, and somebody walks up to you and they say, you not really all that. Have some confidence in yourself. That way you ain't got to worry about this, that, and the third, and somehow trying to tie it all up to white supremacy. And I know, I understand, you will still have these opinions and even try to say someone like me is rooted in some bigoted groupthink and I should be free because I'm a black indigenous person of color. First of all, just black, don't refer to me as anything else. And I am the sexiest black YouTuber, and I have the confidence to say that because not a one of you can tear me down. The only person that can tear me down is me, not no fat bitch with no confidence in herself blaming white supremacy for why the fact she don't look that damn good. And for everybody else, subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next one. Be proud of yourselves, have some confidence, and love yourself for who you truly are. Unless you're trying to have sex with kids. Goodbye.